Hello there and welcome back to another episode of Inside Gaming Extended Preview. I'm your host Adam Kovic, and today we are taking a look at an early copy of Darksiders 2 coming out later this month, so let's go ahead and take a look. Now before we get started here, I do want to preface this by saying I am already a big Darksiders 1 fan, so if you are not a fan of the series, there are going to be some minor spoilers. Now the game itself takes place during the events of Darksiders 1. You play as an all-new character, Death, who's currently trying to prove his brother War's innocence from all that crazy crap that happened in the beginning of Darksiders 1. Now, if you're looking at this for the first time, you're probably wondering what the hell is going on. Well, at its basic core, it's good versus evil, with a bunch of cool characters in the middle. It's heaven versus hell, and the four horsemen being in the middle of that. What I do really like about the mythology of Darksiders, though, is that there is heaven versus hell, but there's no religion in the game whatsoever. Unfortunately, Jesus Christ does not come out as a special superpower, but that's to be determined probably later in the game. Now, if you, like me, are a returning fan, you might notice right off the bat that the game is now a full-blown action RPG. The previous game felt very much like an adult version of Zelda at times, but now with Darksiders 2, the franchise is really starting to find its identity. Throughout the game, you find a bunch of armor pieces, weapons, upgrades, stats upon stats, and plenty of loot. There's even a dialogue wheel now if you want to get more information from NPCs, which is a very, very nice addition. And while the RPG side is very prevalent, it doesn't really detract from the main focus of the game, because Darksiders 2, like Darksiders 1, is broken up into three main components: combat, puzzles, and platforming. Now the platforming in Darksiders 2 does come off as a little bit clunky, but once you got kind of a good rhythm going, everything seems to work. Death this time is much more agile than War, and it showcased a lot during his whole getting around town ability. The combat overall feels really tight, with the upgrade system feeling a lot more fleshed out this time. There feels like there's a lot more versatility to the way you can customize your character. And lastly, the dungeon puzzles are pretty much on par with the first Darksiders, if not better. They're never really too challenging, but there are a few that will have you scratching your head, and that's usually a result of the game not telling you that you had a specific ability in the first place, or that throwing object A that makes platform B do thing C. Make sense? Now, while I do have to preface, once again, this is just an early playthrough of the game, and we can only really show the first realm from Forge Lands, right now everything just feels really big and, pardon the cliche, epic. There are these moments where you just get hit with these pings of nostalgia, like you're playing Zelda on the N64 for the first time, and you see Death Mountain, and you just get this feeling of overwhelming dread. There are a lot of moments that happen like that in Darksiders 2, but instead of being a little boy, you play as a character who looks like he's from the cover of an Iron Maiden album. So there you go, that is about it for our initial hands-on with Darksiders 2. Overall, as a fan of the first one, I am very much excited to be playing as a horseman once again. The combat is good, the dungeons are great, and so far, this is some of the best music in a game that I've heard all year. We'll see you guys back around the 14th of August for our full review. In the meantime, follow myself and my two other personalities on Twitter. I'll see you next time. Thank you again for watching.